All right, today we're going to dive into the psychology behind our eating habits. How we can go from eating on total autopilot, which, let's be honest, we all do, to a way more conscious and frankly fulfilling way of nourishing ourselves. So let's get right into it. So let me ask you this. Have you ever gotten to the bottom of a bag of chips or looked down at an empty plate and had that weird feeling of, whoa, wait, did I just eat all that? It's like your hands were doing the work, but your brain was checked out a million miles away. If you're nodding your head right now, trust me, you are not alone. This kind of mindless eating is a super common side effect of our crazy busy, super distracted modern lives. It's practically the default setting for a lot of us. So our first move is to really unpack this autopilot mode. Let's give it a name, the unconscious bite. It's basically when we eat without any real thought about why we're even doing it. This unconscious bite shows up in a bunch of ways, right? It's grabbing that comfort food after a long, stressful day. It's the mindless snacking while you're scrolling on your phone or watching TV. It's even using food as the main event for entertainment. And look, all of these habits kind of do the same thing. They dull our awareness and pull us further away from what our bodies actually need. And here's the thing. This isn't just about a lack of willpower. Not at all. It's a deeply wired psychological pattern, and it's called a habit loop. Getting a grip on this loop is the real first step to actually changing things. So when you boil it down, you're looking at two completely opposite mindsets. Over on one side, you've got eating as distraction. That's driven by your feelings or just boredom. But on the other side, there's eating with intention. And that's a conscious choice, a direct response to your body saying, hey, I could use some fuel. Okay, so we've kind of diagnosed the problem. Now for the good part. Let's pivot to the solution. The mindful alternative. This is how we start to take the controls back from that autopilot. Now, the official term for this is mindful temperance. I know, it sounds a little fancy, but the idea is actually incredibly simple and really powerful. It's all about learning to listen to your body, figuring out when you're genuinely hungry, and starting to see food for what it really is, fuel for your well-being. This quote right here, it just nails the whole idea. It's not about restriction or telling yourself no. It's about flipping your default setting from endless indulgence to fuel for well-being. That tiny shift in perspective, it changes everything. Okay, just look at how differently these two approaches play out. With the habit loop, your trigger is an emotion, right? Comfort, boredom, whatever. The goal is just distraction, and you end up with this dulled awareness. But with the mindful approach, the trigger is real hunger. The goal is to fuel your body, and the result? It's gratitude, and this really important idea of sufficiency, knowing when you've had enough. So how do we actually do this? Well, it breaks down into 4 really practical steps. First, recognize. Just pause and ask yourself, wait, am I actually hungry? Second, nourish. When you do eat, really enjoy it. Be grateful for it. Third, notice. Pay attention and learn to feel that point of being satisfied, not stuffed. And finally, number 4, redirect. If you realize you're just bored, find something else to do. Go for a walk, listen to the music, anything. So let's bring this all together. This entire journey that we've just mapped out is really about one fundamental shift. It's about moving from subconscious habit to conscious intention. And please, if you hear anything today, hear this. This is not another diet. This isn't about making a giant list of foods you can't eat. The whole game changes with just one thing: building awareness. It's all about tuning in, not cutting out. So what are the big takeaways here? First, get really good at telling the difference between a habit and actual hunger. Second, start reframing food as fuel, not just entertainment. Third, practice that art of sufficiency, stopping when you're satisfied. And lastly, build yourself a little toolkit of other things to do when you're just feeling restless. And that leaves us with one last, really powerful question to carry with you. Before your next meal or your next snack, just take 1 second to pause and ask yourself this: what is my body really asking for right now? You know what? The answer just might surprise you.